There's an old saying and it says, give me a lever and a place to stand and I can move the earth. In business, awareness is your leverage. Let that sink in real quick. And I'll ask you a question is, if you're a business owner and you was to fall off the face of the earth tomorrow, how many of your businesses would fail? Second question, as a business owner, how many people can you meet with per month? 20, 40, 50, 60, 100, 200? How many people can you actually sit down with and meet thoroughly every month? So none of this information in this presentation is going to be new. It's all going to be out there already on the internet, but sometimes people need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. And for the people that don't know, here you go. Business Hacks 101. Number one is going to be have an offer. You have to have an offer so simple that you would be able to write it on a Post-it card and share it to someone, but also simple enough to where they could share it with the next person. That's called branding. When other people speak for you on behalf of the business, hopefully those are good things. And number two is going to be communication. Of course, just like number one, we want to communicate with as many people as possible about your brand. So after you thought about your number of how many people you could sit down with realistically every month, that number is going to be capped 100% of the time. Now, that's the problem. Having to meet one-on-one with businesses or having to meet one-on-one with clients is going to slow you down from being able to grow a business. That's something that we want to avoid at all costs. How do we solve it? The solution is to talk to more people, communicate. We want to talk to as many people as possible to help get our message out there. And we all know the best ways to do that is providing value. So what is value? You may ask yourself. Value is a dream outcome times the likelihood of achievement divided by time delay and effort and sacrifice. This is a very simple equation that Alex Hormozi has put together to make it so we can know how to build an offer that is valuable to people. For an example, I'll use working out. And for working out, losing weight, we can work out for 6 months, we can diet, we can drink more water, we can wake up early, we can eat less food. Like there's so many ways, but it's all super sacrificial, a lot of effort. Likelihood is very low because you might not go all the way through with it. The dream outcome is very nice, so that's good, but you're not really believing it because it's such a hard thing to do. And the time delay, you're going to be taking 6 months just to get that result. And most people don't value working out or taking health seriously because of all of what goes into it. So if we could make it so that losing weight was super valuable, then we would be able to get more customers. So who solved that problem is going to be GLP-1s, weight loss supplements. The reason why you see all of these med spas sell weight loss is because they're able to inject you with something that automatically rewires your body to reject the idea of eating, which automatically causes you to intake less calories, which makes you lose weight. It's that simple. So effort and sacrifice, very low. If anything, it's going to cost you money. That's a little bit of a sacrifice, but effort, non-existent. All you have to do is show up to your monthly appointment, get a shot, and you're good to go. Time delay. It's instant because you go there, you get your shot, and then now you're ready to go. So it's pretty straightforward. Likelihood of achievement, very, very high. These companies do this as a living because they know what works and what doesn't work. So the likelihood is super high. That's why you go to these med spas, because you know that it's gonna happen. You've seen your friends lose weight and you know that it's gonna happen for you. And the dream outcome, still the same dream outcome, losing weight, looking good on the beach. You wanna feel good, look good, right? So that value is a lot higher than working out at the gym. Now, because of it, we're able to charge you $300, $500, $600 a month for GLP-1 and weight loss drugs because you value it more. If a gym charged you $600 for a membership, you'd say, get out of here. There's no way that that's as valuable as you try to say it is. So that's breaking that down. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Now I'll use my business as an example when it comes to offers. When I first started my business, I was new, I had all the free time, I had no budget, I had no money, so what I did was services for free. If I had all the time in the world and I didn't have money to pay for ads, what am I going to do? Free services. That's going to get people's attention, of course, and get me in the door. So what I did was I offered free services. I offered free websites, free logos, free social media, free everything that I could think of as a skill to provide business owners. And once I landed on the offer that made sense, we got 150 comments of business owners that were intrigued or interested in what we were doing, 120 comments, 210 comments, and we became the fastest growing but also the highest rated marketing agency in less than 1 year because of our offer. We served so many people that we got the reviews because of it. That's something that most business owners will never understand because they're not testing things or communicating enough about what their business is or what their offer is. They're not providing enough value. I'll use another business just in case you want to question my business. So case study number 1, TLC Properties, a local business here in town. TLC Properties spent the first amount of years working on landscaping, hardscaping, patios. They did lawn care and power washing when they first started off. The business was pretty small. The profit margins were very low. So after some time, they were doing about $90,000, $100,000 a year, roughly, and their profit margins were low, very low, because they first started off, you're fighting to get a sale, you really want to get out there, and you don't know where to start. Now, after we put together an offer and after we put value on that offer and provided that value to the customers, we hit 250 plus a year, closer to 30% profit margins like some of these bigger businesses have. The only difference between this business and this business is that they had a structured offer, but then also they were able to supply value more than anything. So from that, we used that offer and that setup with the processes to go from selling a retaining wall that was $18,000 that would have barely broke even if it was done on time, correctly, and perfect, like it never happens in construction. So we went and sold that project for around $30,000 because we were able to, one, pay our guys a good amount of money to work on the project, but then also we were able to provide the customer with the best service possible. So what that landed us was the best testimonial that the business ever had. It landed us a really good wall to use as reference to sell more walls that would allow the business to grow even more. But then more than anything, it allowed the business to not have to worry about charging the customer again because they had the budget to be able to do these things. A lot of businesses struggle with this, and there's so much more that comes into growing a business than just the price. It's about value. How do you provide value? And there's more businesses that are charging more for the same service that you're doing and getting customers because they're providing more value. Even if it's the same material and same service and same results, they're providing more value, which allows someone to feel confident in what they're spending their money on, just like the GLP-1s. So I'll use another example. Case study number 2, a local automotive shop. So before, their reach within a year was about 20,000 people, which is probably a good amount of people for most of you people. And less than a year later, calculated it, we reached over 170,000 people within that time frame. And we were able to do that because we leveraged social media and we provided value. We educated the audience, we gave them what they wanted, we grew the page by a good amount. The business ended up buying a new building, which is awesome. We'd love to see that happen. And also we increased the ROs for the average ticket that the business had so that they were able to help more people. So the more you serve, the more you're rewarded. I named Earl Nightingale, and he broke it down, service and rewards on a perpetual scale. And the more you serve, the more you're rewarded. It's just part of physics. Now, if you can adopt that philosophy, your business will grow so much faster. You wouldn't need to hire a marketing company just because you're having the services and you're being rewarded with customers, sales, growth, whatever that may be. And there's a quote by my favorite person ever, and it is, "He who goes last is always first." Now, think about that, adopt it in your life, adopt it in your business, and you will be able to grow exponentially compared to what you were doing before. Provide value and love everyone that you work with. Thank you.